Hey y'all, welcome to another video. Today I bring you a traditional knitting podcast, the August episode. Because there was no July episode, we got a lot to get through today, so let's jump in. Starting off with finished objects, if you're a returning viewer, I'm not gonna make you wait until the end of this video, because if you came here to see if I managed to salvage my husband's sweater, yes, I did salvage it. Let's look at it. Dun, 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 dun. This is my husband's sweater. This is the Wood Stove Pullover by Kirsten Hipsky in Cascade Yarns Elysian 6 in color 70. It's a 60% merino, 40% acrylic blend. This was, if this is your first time tuning in or you didn't see my previous podcast, let me just give you a 5-second update. I made this sweater, I finished it for my husband. The sleeves were obscenely long, and so I thought I was very clever and I could cut off the sleeves and do them again, except that I cut at the wrong place and I cut into the body of the sweater, which is a good reminder of why you should not do these things at 11:30 at night when you usually go to bed at 10. So, this is what I did. The left arm side was not so bad. So I was able to just pick up the stitches on the sleeve, stitch a couple rounds until it was the right length, and then reattach it without too much issue. This one was really challenging. I'm going to show you this up close. I'll also put in a picture. This is where the main surgery happened. And I followed a YouTube tutorial, not even a tutorial. It was just like a YouTube short, or maybe it was an Instagram reel of this woman who fixes sweaters, and she's amazing. And I'll link her below. I can't think of her name right now, but I'll link her below. And I just watched her in slow motion over and over and over and tried to replicate it. It's pretty messy. It's pretty messy, and it's a little bit bulky right here, but honestly, the whole sweater is pretty squishy that when it's on, you can't really tell unless you're looking for it or you're like up close. And nobody should be that up close to my husband, okay? What I did on this one, because I cut, this sweater's put together in pieces, and so I had cut right along the edge of the body. And so there wasn't any knitting to put to sort of repair with on this side of the body. So what I did is I finished the sleeve. I picked up the stitches and finished the sleeve so it was the right length. And then I reattached it to the body, skipping this part right here, which was at that point a hole in the sweater. And then once it was reattached, I did my best at sort of replicating the stitches with just a needle and the yarn going this way into the sleeve so that there was something to anchor the yarn into. And honestly, it worked pretty well. I'm about as pleased as I could be. I don't know that I could have repaired it any better, even if I had more experience. I think the damage was too far done. And if it were just straight knitting, it would have been much easier, but it's this, what is it? It's like a half broken rib, broken rib. My editor is going to tell you what it is. I can never remember. But the great news is this fits my husband beautifully, like really well. He really likes it. I finished it in July, just like at peak heat here in Maryland. So he put it on for like 5 seconds so I could take a picture, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna take it off now. It was so hot. God bless him. But it fits him perfectly. I'm really, really pleased with it. The pattern is pretty streamlined, but very good. I used a lighter weight yarn, and so to make up for that, I increased to one size bigger on the pattern, and it works great. Looks fantastic on him. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to tell you about it. Oh, right. Like I said, this is knit in pieces. So it's the front and then the back and then the sleeves, and then you knit them all together. or seam them together. And honestly, I think that's really good for the sweater because it's very heavy. It's like drapey heavy, you know what I mean? So I could see that if there were not a seam here, these sleeves would really be pulling on the neck of the sweater. So I like that it's knit in pieces. And I don't mind seaming things together, honestly. It doesn't bother me. Some people seem to not like that, but I think it's great. It is like a little bit tight here. He can get it over his head. And it doesn't even require any like Crisco to make it happen. It just, he can put it on. It's not, lessons were learned in this cast on. His neck sweater is gonna be even better. But all in all, very proud of saving this sweater. All right, let's keep moving because we got a lot to get through. Next up is the longest standing whip I have had in my collection. I started this blanket in February of 2024. That's right, I think that's right, 2024. This is my MAC blanket. Honestly, this took so long that every time I open it, I think it should be twice as big. But it's made with fingering weight yarn, and it's quite delicate, I guess. Or delicate looking. It's hardy. Don't worry, it's hardy, but it's quite delicate looking. This yarn, let me tell you the pattern first. This is the Willow Granny Square. The Willow Granny Square doesn't belong to anybody, but I used the pattern from Designs by Vanessa. The granny stitch join as you go is from Rachel Carmona. And then this edge, this little leaf border, is from, this is the leaf stitch border by Crafting Happiness. And I'm just terribly pleased with it. Terribly pleased. The yarn is Elise Diva Silky Effect in light cream. Let's see, light cream is the border. North Sea. I think North Sea is the green one. North Sea is the green one. Saffron is the yellow one. Terra is the orangey red. And the blue is number 353. I couldn't find the actual name of it. These are leftover colors, this is leftover yarn from a little gift that I made for my girlfriends. This was like the gift for my girlfriends. I'll put in a picture here. They're little heart buntings. That was like my second project that I did in crochet. And dang, it taught me a lot. But I had so much yarn left over. And so I decided to make myself a blanket in these colors because I basically just made squares till I ran out and then attached them. And it ended up being 5 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 5 by 7. It's really great. One of the things that I love about this blanket is MAC. MAC is an acronym for my girlfriends and me, Monica, Autumn, Claire, Katie, and we each have a signature color. I'm the green, Monica is red, Autumn is yellow, Claire is blue, and they're my dearest friends. We've been friends since 2011 when I moved into this area, and they're just incredibly special women to me. And because this was all little squares, it was a very portable project. So I have so many wonderful memories from this blanket. I took this blanket on the road with me last February. And so I drove through Tennessee and drove from Illinois down to Tennessee and then all throughout Tennessee working on these squares. I also took this with me. This was a big plane project actually because it was so portable. And I would just take one color and see how many I could make. And one of the times that happened, I sat next to a woman on the plane and I was working on the orange ones. She asked if she could take a picture of it because this was her mom's favorite color and her mom crocheted. And I said, of course. She took a picture, and then she told me a little bit about her mom. Her mom had passed away somewhat recently. My dad had passed away somewhat recently. And so we just had a really wonderful conversation on the plane about grief and being parents and having parents. And it was just a really beautiful moment with a complete stranger. And so I finished my square and actually gave her that one. I don't know if she wanted it, but I just thought it was nice, like a little commemoration of that moment. I also worked on this backstage at quite a few, I say backstage, they weren't stages, but when I am singing for work, a lot of times we just have to stand around in a hallway for like hours. So this is the perfect size project for that. And one of the times that I was working on this was at the NATO summit. I performed at that very briefly, and I was working at this in the holding area, and because of the way our uniforms fit, like it was a little too bulky to put in my pocket, so I put it in my sock because it was, at this point, it was like a ball of yarn this big, you know? So I had a ball of yarn in my sock and then a crochet hook in my pocket, and that is the summit. It's one of a few times that I have performed with a group, not by myself, but performed for Cutie Pie, Canadian Cutie Pie, what's his name? Trudeau, Justin Trudeau is his name. Justin Trudeau was there, and I walked right past him and tripped. I tripped on nothing. I just like stumbled. I didn't fall down, but I did trip. Anyway, I was working on this blanket that day. It holds so many wonderful memories and represents some of the most important people in my life. And it took me a really long time to finish it, and I am really excited that it's done. One last time, this is my MAC blanket. Next on my list, oh, something very fancy. It's a tortilla. Tortilla. It's just a circle. It's not that exciting. But my doggos have a bowl that's like their nighttime water bowl. And Junior, the younger but bigger dog, he just has like parachute lips. And so when he drinks, slobber gets everywhere. And so we just needed something to put the water bowl on. And so I just made this, just like in a cute little afternoon. And it matches our bathroom. I'll put a picture in so you can see. It matches our bathroom paint. So it's cute. And actually this just came out of the dryer, which is why this is not a pattern. It's literally just a circle. But the yarn is leftover Lily Sugar and Cream in bamboo, which I used for a bag for my girlfriend's autumn last year. But it's perfect. Like I just threw it in the wash and the dryer, and it holds up great, which is why I use this yarn for it. This is a circle. Not much to say about that. I literally just crocheted till I ran out of yarn. And then I thought, should I add another color? No. Done. All right, another cute little guy. This is a plastic grocery bag holder. This is by Kylie Keller. If I'm remembering correctly, this is a free pattern. This is another bit of leftover Lily Sugar and Cream in the color Jute. And this is leftover from a bag I made for my friend Claire, all from the MAC group. Again, I made this just like in an afternoon. We literally just reorganized our bags, and we were trying to organize them a little bit better, and I was like, oh, I could make that. So I did. That's it. It's pretty hardy, honestly. This yarn, I love this yarn for hardy things. It's not the most fun to work with, but it's pretty awesome because I just like can cram the things in there. It does use, on this end, you start actually around a ponytail holder so that it is flexible here. But that's it. I don't need to tell you any more about that. Next up are the Moldau socks. These are by Mona Dreger, and the yarn I used is Stella Luna Fiber Company Merino Sock, and the colorway Gran is a Vampire. It's an 80-20 merino nylon blend, and this is leftover from my tour blanket. This actually came in a sock set, And so I used the mini skein and then some of the larger skein to make my square for my tour blanket. And then this is the leftover. And actually I still have a little bit left over. This sock pattern, if you watched my most recent video, then you will have seen that I just opened Ravelry and saw this was called the Mold Out and committed to doing it without knowing anything else. The Mold Out is a symphonic piece by Matton. I played it when I was in high school. I love the piece. It's really great. And so as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to do it. And I have a ton of sock yarn just hanging around left over from my tour blanket, so I knew I would have yarn for it. This was a mystery sock knit along. So every week you got a portion of the sock. So it was like this much, then this much, then this much, then this much. You could probably divide a sock into 4 without me telling you. It is a really cool lacy pattern. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it on here, but it's like the Moldau, which is a river. It starts with sort of small rapids, I guess you could say, and then it gets busier as you go down. So at the toe, it's quite aggressive rapids. It's really nice, and they're very comfortable, super comfortable. This is do I have anything? Oh, there also was this really cute at the hem of the sock, this little scallop thing, which honestly I did not execute as well as some of my compatriots who made these socks, but it's a cute little technique, and so I will probably use it again in my life. This yarn, I was really happy to use it. It was really fun to work with. I think the pattern might show off a little bit better in something less variegated, but I don't mind it. And it shows up much more when it's actually on a foot and not just being held up. It also, there's this like nice little detail on the heel. See if I can show that to you. Where there's just like a little bit of like baby cables in it. Just a really cool little textural detail. Helps it fit into the sort of river theme. I did finish these with double pointed needles. So I think I have now found, through these socks, I have found my preferred method of sock knitting, which is on the little 9-inch small guys, and then switching to double pointed needles for the toe. I just don't love magic loop. Not in general, just for socks. I don't really love it for socks. I am intrigued by the idea of doing 2 socks at a time on magic loop, but this pattern is a mirror image for the left and right sock, and I just did not think that I had the capacity to do that 2 at a time and remember which one was the left and which one was the right. So I might try that with like a vanilla sock at some point to see how it works, but I just love the portability of the 9-inch circular. So I think that might still be my preferred method. Let me do one that I'm finished with in a different way, and that is because I have quit. This is my abandoned project. This is my Washington Nationals t-shirt, which I thought would be so cute with like a little hem. It's just way too big, and I never wore it, and then I cut it and I still didn't love the way it looked. So I thought, let me add like a little hem, and then I was gonna add some flowers up here. Listen, it's just that this is t-shirt material, and this is yarn, and they are not well suited to each other, at least with my current skill set. It's still, I put this on, it still looked really dumb, like it looked worse, and then I hated the sleeves, so then I cut the sleeves off, but then realized that the armholes are enormous. And eventually I was like, this is not worth finishing. I don't like it. This is putting lipstick on a pig at this point. And maybe that's even too generous. So this is a fail. This is the fail of the month. Is this Washington Nationals t-shirt, which after this moment is going to become a rag. The good news is I went to a Nationals game when they had a giveaway, so I still have a Nationals shirt. It's a Hawaiian shirt. So I have something to wear to games. Not this guy. Ugly. All right, back to good news, huh? This pillow is, I'm not gonna say much about this because my last video is all about this pillow, but this is the Cozy Days pillow. It's the Cozy Days blanket. Cozy Days, oh my God, I still don't know the name of it. The Cozy Days Daisy blanket. I'm still not sure if that's it. Cozy Days Daisy blanket. This is the Cozy Days Daisy blanket, but just 9 squares, which I turned into a pillow. On the other side, oh, this is by All About Ami. The other side is the Blooming Lotus Square by Sisters in Stitch with the Knit Picks Swish Worsted in the colorways white. Let me show you one here. White, Blossom Heather. I think the dark one is Blossom Heather. Rose Heather. Hollyberry is this very dark color. And then Frosting is the very light pink, which is 100% merino. This is very cozy. It's, I really like it. It's already, I should say that like there is another fiber type in here, and that is dog fur, because this lives on our bed. And so the yarn is a little bit fluffy, but also just, there's Great Pyrenees in there. Oh my gosh, look on this side. Can you see that? Oh my gosh. How do these dogs have any fur left on their bodies? This pillow was a wonderful sentimental and technical journey. So if you haven't seen my last video, I'll link it below. I encourage you to check it out and to see the making of this pillow. One more finished object. And that is my Filigree tee by Julie Knits in Paris. You might be wondering why I'm not wearing it today, and it's because I cannot figure out what to wear with this thing. It's cute. I think it fits well. I can't tell if it's just like not great for my body shape or if I just don't have the right pants to go with it. I'll insert a picture so you can see it. I don't know what to do with it. I definitely could wear it tucked in, but it has this really darling detail on the bottom, and I want that to be seen. I don't know if maybe I should have done a bigger size so it was like more oversized. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep trying. This yarn is a Verb for Keeping Warm, Reliquary 2 in Honeybee's Haven, 80% merino, 20% silk, and I love it. It's so soft, it's so lightweight, it's just, I love it. And it's this, it's a lace weight, really pretty open gauge with just a really darling detail. And on the side, there's another detail that goes down the side. So it's really cute. I love it. I'm gonna keep trying to figure out a way to wear it. There's not much to tell you. Knit top down, and then you go around in a circle. The detail on the side really does keep it interesting because you're just going in circles forever, but this side is like a little 4-row repeat. So it just keeps you aware that you're in the world doing something. Sometimes when you're like going around in a circle, you're like, was that an hour or was it 3 weeks? I don't know. I'm pretty jazzed about this. There are just like, let me just roast it a little bit. So this one, I did make a mistake on this side. I like missed a yarn over or something. And so there's, right here. I don't know if you can see that well, but there's like one where instead of there being 2 holes, there's only 1 hole, but I somehow did the exact same thing on the other side. So that matches. Let me show it to you so you can see it. The back, same thing. Maybe this one's the best. No, this one just like took, this one just like took a wrong turn somewhere. How did I do that? I don't even know. That should be a straight line, but it's not. But luckily, when it's on, you don't really see those things. I mean, this one's symmetrical, and the ones on the back are pretty close to the armpit, so I still think it turned out really well. And someday I'm going to figure out what to wear it with, and then I will wear it. You did it. You made it to the end of the finished objects. Congratulations. Lucky for you, because there's so many finished objects, there are not as many whips as there normally are. So let's start with the baby whip. The tiny, it's not for a baby, it's just very small. This is the Magna Flora top by Alyssa Hartzell. Oh, what? It doesn't look like anything yet? I know it doesn't. That's because I knit like 30 rounds of it and was so, my counts were so far off that I just had to tear it all out and start over. So I started over, and I've just done a little bit of short rows shaping, and I'm just about to start the lace round, and I put stitch markers in for every repeat of the lace so that if I screw it up again, I can figure out where it's happening. Because the last one, I screwed it up, and then I would try and get back on, and I thought I fixed it, but I didn't, and then I was like 10 stitches off, and I just thought, this is not worth continuing on. Just start over. The yarn that I'm using for this is the Barocco Bozzolo, which is 100% cotton. Did I just make that up? Well, it's 100% cotton, made in Italy, and it is so soft. I love it. It's very nice to knit with. 10 out of 10. Not much to tell you about this, but stay tuned. There will be more from that next time. Okay, next up, my next great triumph. This is, do I have a stitch marker on here? Yes. This is the Aviva dress. And if you've been here a while, if you've been around here a while, you've seen this before many times. Let me show you where it is now. The top is complete, and I have started on the skirt. There's like a lot more skirt to come. Okay, that's just the beginning of the skirt. When we last met this top, it didn't have, I hadn't yet joined it. And I had realized that the front and the back did not match well. This pattern is made to measure, so she gives instructions and says this should go from this point on your body to that point on your body, and then the next thing should go from this point on your body to that point on your body, right? Because of the shape of my body, the distance from side seam front to the other side seam is bigger than side seam on the back. I also, when I measured, was just laying it flat, but I really should have stretched it, because what I find now is that the side seam is really a little too far back on it. So it's a double whammy of like the front would have been bigger anyway, and then I made it a little bit too big. So the side seam ends up being like an inch behind where the side seam would naturally fall. The issue with that is that these are two rectangles that are stitched together. So the rectangle on the back actually ends here. So there's only like, I think it ended up being 8 stitches of overlap on the shoulder. And then there was sleeve in the front, and then there was nothing in the back. So what I did, I love this, somebody commented a fudge piece. A fudge piece. I made 2 fudge pieces, which is that I connected these at the shoulder and up the side to where I wanted the armhole to be. And then I just made a little triangle here and a little triangle here so that the back sleeve sort of matches the front. It's not a perfect match because I did them, going different directions. You know what I mean? Because the certain stitches had to be on the right side. So one, like I started at the shoulder, and the next one I started at the armpit, like it is. So it's not perfect, but it's not that noticeable. especially when it's on. The pattern does actually call for another sleeve layer and like an edge, which I'm not sure I'm gonna do. I'll get to that in a moment. Another troubleshooting piece was this neckline was quite gappy on me, and so I just went in and did a row of single crochet decreasing, and now it fits perfectly. I've started the skirt, and this ball of yarn I used to start the skirt, and I have made it like almost, I think 2.5 rounds, and I have this much left. I'm thinking I can get one more round out of this. Maybe. One more round. You know, crochet it just gobbles it up. The issue is I only have 3 more balls of yarn. So I need to decide. One option is that I just actually make the skirt quite short and just make it a top, like a peplum style top, because the waist is at my natural waist, which means that I could have, you know, a solid 8 inches of sort of peplum and it would still be shirt length on me. The other option is that I could order more yarn, but I did order this yarn 100 years ago, and so I don't know that it would match. It's from Hobbii, so, you know, it would cost like $10 to order 5 more of these balls of yarn, 5 more balls of these. So that's an option. I could just order more. My plan is to finish this ball, see how far it gets me, and then see how long that is and do the math on what the other 3 will get me and make the decision there of what I want to do. So I'll keep you posted. The other thing that I am thinking about doing, the skirt, you can't see that well yet. There's not a lot of it, but it is much more open than the top. It's like a little bit see-through. And I have some fabric that's a very similar color to this. And so I think I might make an elastic waist liner just from the waist down and then sew that in, because that will help cinch in the waist just a little bit more. It's pretty well fitting, but I think that will make it fit even better. So there it is, the Aviva dress, looking good. It's really flattering. I really love it. If you're looking for a crochet garment that is super girly and is like a flattering article of clothing, this so far is it. Did I tell you what the yarn was? I don't think I did. It's Hobbii Rainbow Cotton 8/4 in dark old rose. Okay, my last crochet whip. Oh, the first one was knitting. I was like, is that all crochet? Is my Wallflowers blanket, which is, you know, a long-term project. So here we are. It looks very noodly right now. So it has these like little tendrils or tentacles hanging from it. These are the new parts. So these little guys. Oh my goodness, so hard to show you. These little guys are new. And I have 14 of these flowers. I have 14 to the purple round right here. And then I finished 6 of them or so. And then I have the rest to add the large petals to. And then eventually those will fit into the blanket between these little tentacles, which I can't show you without 9 more arms. I need more tentacles to show you, but they go like this. Look at that, just like that. This is a huge piece. Actually, This is this chapter has been quite long, so I'm anxious to finish it. Not anxious in the bad way, but like, yeah, let's do it. So hopefully I finish this by the next time I see you. This will be done. This is another good one for being on the road, because like the next chapter is to make 50 of these like little popcorns. These guys, you have to make 50 of them in 2 colorways. So 2 balls of yarn, and I mean, actually, I think a lot of them, there are 2 different versions of it. I think one of them is with the same color. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just not that much yarn and a very repeatable pattern. So it's a good one to take like to a baseball game or, you know, on the road, traveling, whatever. It's only when you start actually connecting them to the blanket that takes up a lot of space. My goal though is to finish this in October. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but October, I'm on the road for work for 2 weeks. And this is the perfect project for that because I can leave the blanket on our bus. And just every time I get on the bus, I work on it. And this is a bus heavy tour. So hopefully I can get it to a point where I can get it done on that tour. My ultimate goal, the deadline, is the end of the year. The deadline which I have given to myself is the end of the year. So I want to finish it by the end of the year, but December is December. Do I need to say anything else about that? No. So I think October is a realistic deadline, and that way if I don't finish it, I still have a little bit of buffer room. I do have a lot of ideas of presents that I want to start making, so stay tuned for a fall knitting plans and goals, because I'm going to start my Christmas knitting pretty soon. Because I have a lot I want to make, and I don't want to do it all in December. This is not knitting, this is spinning. One of my goals this year is to knit using my dog's fur. And I don't know how to spin, so I've been working on spinning. Oh, and then I dropped it. So here's my, oh wow, it's just wildly different sizes. But this is wool, this is not my dog's fur, because I thought I should start with something that's easier than dog fur. So using this wool, this drop spindle that I took a class at my local yarn store. And I have like, this is my little spinning station I have set up so that it's easy to just sit down and spin a little bit. I'm getting better. It's not great, but it doesn't need to be great. There's still progress to be made. So just a little update that there is spinning progress, minimal spinning progress being made. All right, my acquisitions. Time for acquisitions. I got the last installment of the Verb for Keeping Warm quarterly yarn club. I think that's what it's called. It's a quarterly yarn club. If that's not what it's called, that's what it is. This is the this is called Rumor in the colorway Palomino. Oh, Proverbial Club. Proverbial Club is what it's called. This is 70% superwash merino, 30% silk. It's really pretty. I love it. And actually, I really love the pattern that came with it too. It's a shawl pattern that you get every quarter with your yarn. And I really like this one. I think I'll definitely make this one eventually, like put it in the queue. As a member of the club, you get like advance discounted entry into the next year's club. And I'm like, I just can't. I cannot be part of another club. I can't do it. I want to. I love getting them in the mail. It's just that, I say it every time, knitting takes a long time, and I have plenty of yarn. So, and I don't even wear shawls really, so I'll make this one. But there are there were 4 yarns that they sent me, and actually this was one of them. this Reliquary too, and I didn't, the shawl pattern is really lovely, but I knew I would never wear it, so I made this shirt instead. And then the first shawl, I definitely want to make this, the third shawl, I don't think I'm going to make. So 50-50 on actually using the shawl patterns, but the yarns are gorgeous. And the shawl patterns are gorgeous too if you are a shawl person, which I'm not. Okay, I also got these cute little sock blockers. They're literally just wires in the shape of a sock. I don't remember the brand, but I got them from Extraordinary You in Easton, Maryland. I just kind of keep a list of knitting notions that I need or want so that when I visit local yarn stores, I don't have to buy yarn, but I can still get something. I don't need any more yarn right now. I don't need it. And actually this yarn store, it's a really cute yarn store in Easton, Maryland. If you live anywhere near there, you should go. You should definitely go to this restaurant. I can't remember the name of it right now, but they had the best crab soup I've ever had in my life. But it's a really cute yarn store. Really, really cute downtown area in this town. But it was one of the first times that I've gone into a yarn store and I'm like, I don't even want any of this yarn because I know what I have at home, which is a real moment of growth for me. All right, last but not least, in my acquisitions, that which needs no introduction, but I will still introduce it. This is a ChiaoGoo set of 4-inch steel. You're steel, right? Ooh. Interchangeable needles. I love them. Basically, I needed another size. I needed another size of a needle, and I was like, I'm not gonna go buy another one that works with my Knit Picks set because I know that I want this set. It's time, just do it. And I'm very glad I did. My friend let me use a pair of her needles from her ChiaoGoo set, so I felt very confident that I actually did want these and enjoyed the knitting process with them. So I love them. I'm just using them on my Magna Flora tee. I'm kind of low on knitting projects right now. I only have my 3 whips and only one of them is knitting. So I'll have to cast something else on. Don't worry, I have lots of ideas. Stay tuned for those fall knitting plans and goals because the list is long of what I want to do there. I think that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out till the end. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate each of you being here. If you liked this video, please click the like button. If you would like to stick around and see more videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have fun, be nice, and do good work.